moving on to look at a new series which is releasing on Freevee, which you can access via Prime Video from tomorrow or today when this podcast will be released. And that is called Icons Unearthed Marvel. Now, this is a long-running series of documentary type films featuring cultural events, icons as they call it, and this is the one looking at the Marvel series. We got early access to the first episode of this. We actually had early access to the whole series, but we only managed to watch the first one. And here's a little clip to whet your appetite for this series.
Avi Arad's ambitious plans to sell Marvel toys depended on controlling the shows that promoted them. But the puppet masters soon came up against a long-standing Marvel problem. Other people controlled the rights to Marvel's best properties.
They sold rights to Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, and Captain America.
And the Fantastic Four had found its way to Germany, with producer Bernd Eichinger and his company, Constantine Films.
So that is from the first episode of Icons Unearthed Marvel. And I have to say, I found it really interesting. I didn't actually know anything about the history. I mean, I knew they did comics, obviously. But I really didn't know anything about the history of how Marvel had evolved and how near it came to kind of catastrophe before we ever got to see Iron Man at the cinema. We don't get that far in this episode. I think there's 8 episodes in the series in total. But this first episode looks at the evolution of Marvel as a company. So that clip you just heard is quite typical, that said that so-and-so was in charge and he did this. And then this happened because they'd sold the rights because the company was going out of business. So et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of that going on in here, which I found really interesting. Some may find it less interesting. I think as we progress through the series, we're going to get into the movies, and that is probably going to have more interest to kind of mainstream Marvel fans than this first episode. General view, because I spoke to Scott about this one as well, who also watched the first episode, was this is very much like the Netflix series, the movies that made us, where they kind of delve into the background behind the movies, how the movies got financed, how the movies nearly didn't happen. And it's that kind of style that you saw there with talking heads, voiceover, and some interesting footage that they've dug up. So I would say that this is going to be a must-see series for Marvel fans. I've already recommended it to my daughter-in-law, Bronwyn, who is a hardcore Marvel fan. And she's looking forward to seeing this one. But that again is Icons Unearthed Marvel, Marvel. And that is on Amazon Freevee or Prime Video as it is marketed in the UK.